Michael Lee, former 1940s fan, is recognized as the father of competitive strategy in the business management community. Porter was born in 1940s fan. He studied mechanical and aerospace engineering at Princeton University, then turned to the business field and received an MBA and a FITS in economics from Harvard University. Michael's competitive trilogy includes Competitive Strategy, Competitive Advantage, and A National Competitive Advantage. Competitive Strategy is a work published by Porter in 1980. It mainly discusses how enterprises formulate and implement effective competitive strategies in a fiercely competitive market environment. The book provides an in-depth analysis of the core elements of corporate competitive strategy and divides competitive choices into three categories: total cost leadership strategy, differentiation strategy, and specificity strategy. Porter emphasized in the book that every competitive strategy does not arise spontaneously, but is the result of the right time, location, and people. In competitive strategy, Porter first defined competitive strategy and pointed out that it is the basic method for enterprises to create and maintain competitive advantage. He proposed the five forces framework that determines the attractiveness of the industry. These five forces include 1. Competitors within the industry to potential new entrants, 3. The threat of substitutes, and 4. Supplier bargaining capabilities, and 5. The bargaining power of buyers. These five forces jointly determine the competitive intensity. If companies want to stand out from the competition, they must have a deep understanding of these forces and develop strategies to deal with them. Porter believes that companies can gain competitive advantage through three basic strategies, namely 1. Cost leadership strategy, 2. Differentiation strategy, and 3. Concentration strategy. Companies need to choose and focus on one of these strategies to gain market advantage. Each strategy has its unique advantages and applicable conditions, and companies need to choose the appropriate strategy based on their own resources and market environment. At the same time, Porter also emphasized the value chain and analysis methods required to implement these strategies, helping companies identify and optimize key value creation activities. In addition, competitive strategy provides an in-depth look at offensive and defensive strategies. Offensive strategies aim to take the initiative and expand market share through market penetration, product development, or diversification, while defensive strategies focus more on consolidating existing market positions. Porter believes that companies should choose an appropriate strategic combination based on their market position and goals. In the final part of the book, Porter introduces the analytical skills needed when companies face major strategic decisions. These skills help companies better respond to market changes and achieve sustainable development. Overall, the book Competitive Strategy provides enterprises with comprehensive and in-depth strategic guidance, helping enterprises to formulate and implement effective competitive strategies in a highly competitive market environment, thereby strengthening their market position and achieving long-term success. Competitive Advantage is Porter's work published in 1985. This book mainly explores how companies can form and maintain their advantages in competition. Porter analyzed in detail the bargaining power of suppliers and buyers, as well as the ability of substitutes, which together constitute the company's competitive environment. In the book, Porter first emphasizes the importance of competitive advantage, pointing out that it is the key to long-term success of enterprises. He proposed two basic forms of competitive advantage: cost leadership and differentiation. The cost leadership strategy requires the company to provide products or services at the lowest cost, while the differentiation strategy emphasizes meeting the specific needs of customers by providing unique products or services. In order to establish these competitive advantages, Porter further proposed the concept of value chain, dividing enterprises' activities into main activities and supporting activities to help enterprises identify value creation points and cost advantages in their internal activities, thereby improving competitiveness. He believes that companies can reduce costs or increase product value by optimizing various links in the value chain. This includes research and development, production, marketing, after-sales service, and other aspects. Through in-depth analysis of the value chain, companies can identify their core competitiveness and formulate effective competitive strategies accordingly. In addition, Porter also emphasized the impact of industrial structure and competitive environment on corporate competitive advantages. He believes that industrial structure determines the scope and intensity of competition among enterprises, while the competitive environment affects the strategic selection and implementation of enterprises. Therefore, when formulating competitive strategies, companies must fully consider the industry and market environment in which they operate. National Competitive Advantage is a work published by Porter in 1990. In this book, he proposed the theory of national competitive advantage and emphasized the relativity of national advantages. The whole book mainly focuses on the formation, maintenance, and improvement of national competitive advantages and puts forward many insights and practical values. In the book, Porter proposed the diamond model to analyze how national level factors affect the competitiveness of enterprises. This model includes four main elements: 1. Production factor conditions, 2. Demand conditions, 3. Related and supporting industries, and 4. Corporate strategy, structure, and competitive conditions, as well as 2 auxiliary elements. 5. Government. Porter particularly emphasized the key role of scarce and specialized production factors and the domestic market with strict standards and unique needs in shaping a country's competitive advantage. In addition to the diamond model, Porter also conducted an in-depth analysis of the formation process of competitive advantages in different countries through case studies of 10 countries. These cases cover multiple developed economies such as Denmark, Germany, Japan, and the United Kingdom. Through comparative analysis, Porter reveals the sources and differences of competitive advantages of different countries in different industries. In addition, Porter also emphasized the important role of government in promoting a country's competitive advantage. He believes that the government can create a favorable development environment for enterprises and promote industrial upgrading and innovation by formulating appropriate policy. At the same time, the government should also pay attention to changes and opportunities in the international market and guide companies to actively participate in international competition. In the final part, Porter also explores new challenges and opportunities for national competitive advantage in the context of globalization. He believes that with the deepening of globalization, economic ties between countries have become increasingly close and competition has become increasingly fierce. Therefore, countries need to constantly adjust and optimize their competitive strategies to adapt to the new international economic environment. Porter's theories and models not only have a profound impact in academia, but are also widely used in business practice. His books have been translated into many languages and are admired around the world.